Warning, this game has imagery some may find disturbing, especially those who suffer from things like tryptophobia and arachnophobia. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome into the archives, where we dive into games long forgotten in our Steam libraries to find gems hidden within. Meat. We are all meat. We consume meat. We are made of meat. And we all die in meat. So eat your pistol and your fingers with eyes, and let's see what this game has to offer. Golden Light is a first-person roguelike survival horror shooter that claims to be like Prop Hunt, but the props hunt you instead, where your girlfriend is dragged into the pits of meat hell, or what is called the gut. You jump into meat hell to save her. In meat hell, everything is made of meat. Your weapons are made of meat. Your enemies are made of meat. Your crippling depression from a toxic relationship? Meat. The gameplay boils down to you spawning into a procedural generated level, you having to explore and survive to find several keys. These keys that unlock the elevator so you may move on to the next level. Until in the final level, where you unlock a piece of her. You gather pieces of your girlfriend to then eventually try to escape the gut. Each piece is hidden in a different zone of the gut. Simple as it sounds, the game has many features you would not expect. So let's start off with the gut. The gut is some sort of entity that controls the meat reality you are a part of. At the start, the gut loves you, which causes monsters to be less aggressive and numerous. Also the dangers to be few. However, the longer you are playing and killing the inhabitants of the gut, the angrier it gets, which it causes to spawn in more monsters and occasionally just set things on fire. The gut will also taunt you constantly unless you disable a certain setting. You can make the gut hate you less by hitting yourself for its amusement and or give gold to a tree to reset it back to loving you. The different kind of inhabitants you meet have all different personalities that can be from mimics who try to hide as items that become giant meat monsters when you get too close to kill you, to a vending machine who wants you to find an item somewhere so it can eat it in exchange for a random item. Some of these creatures are peaceful until provoked, while some are just aggressive right from the get-go. Heck, there are some culty meat boys who just think being on fire is cool. Generally, it is better to avoid fighting with the denizens of the gut if possible. Only fight if you're pushed to, as fighting leads to more problems. How do you defend yourself in this crazy place? Well, of course, you could find weapons to survive, ranging from melee weapons to guns, but also items that take form of random body parts, such as fingers with eyes, a fetus, or a meat apple, as well as powers called mementos. These mementos can make you faster or stronger with a certain type of weapon, to literally make you to the size of a small dog or having a nose that tries to bite everyone. Weapons can have effects attached to them, so when using them, they cause people to be set alight, poisoned, or etc. Sometimes weapons have a dual blade effect where using them causes the status effect to happen to you and the enemy. Items change what they do every time you enter the dungeons. The fish head could heal you in one run, but be a grenade in the next. This is important as weapons and items can be thrown or consumed. When consumed, you gain back some health, but also will suffer any effect that the item or weapon has. So it could give you regen or literally set yourself on fire. You can also throw items and weapons, which you see a text on the top of your screen telling you what it did. Notes sometimes tell you what the items do in that run, as it will stay unknown until it's used or discovered by a note. A little mention that you can also hit yourself with your weapons and shoot yourself with a gun. This can have a useful effect, such as when a facehugger jumps on you, you can hit them. Also, if you have a healing weapon, sometimes hitting yourself will just make the gut love you more and give you a bit of needed regen. Sometimes the meat will consume you instead, and you will die, in which when you do die, you'll be returned to a hub world called the Internal Garden. This land has many things hidden. You'll find yourself looking in every corner trying to find anything and everything. Ammo, extra mementos, merchants, weapons, and even hidden special items that do not despawn after death. You will also find entrances everywhere to different dungeons, usually nearby a phone booth that will reset your level on the nearby dungeon if you want to reset your progress on it. To be honest, I have found no real use for this, but it is an option. You will also realize that gravity and spacing can be very funky, as you could squeeze around things you may normally not be able to in a standard video game, as well as climb weird black towers. By all rules of physics, you should not be able to walk up, so feel free to explore and experiment around. And a word of advice for those who want to give this game a try. play. Embrace the weirdness and death. Thanks to the mechanic of not resetting your level when dying and only losing your items and mementos, dying is only a slight setback, which thank the gut. And also be ready to consume your weapons you may find yourself attached to, so you can squeeze that little extra health that you may need to get to the next level. This game's levels are also randomized every time you enter the dungeons. You will have to get used to the game setting things up to sometimes screw you over in multiple ways. It's called a prop hunt like game because of the mimic monsters and like the fake doors that punch you. However, this is definitely just a survival horror with some sneaky enemies. So did I enjoy Golden Light? It was kind of boring. The weirdness is what carries this game for the most part. With its pixel aesthetic and everything having eyes and the strange characters you meet, don't get me wrong, some of the mechanics and ideas are pretty sound. However, the gameplay loop gets very luck-based. The stealth is terrible, the FOV in the game is sorta sickening, especially with the motion effects, and you could barely see what is ahead of you. I honestly almost gave up on the game in the first hour playing, but I toughed out the game for 7 hours to complete it, only to get that ending, in which I will not describe. After doing some research after completing the game, I did find that there were multiple endings, and what I got was the neutral ending, the most likely ending you're going to get on your first playthrough. It is so unsatisfying. I feel this is a very niche game for a very particular type of people. Very few actually have completed the game. It's less than 3% according to the Steam achievement statistics. Honestly, no surprise considering that the easiest difficulty, I barely made it on the last few levels because of how luck-based it could be. I think if you enjoy the very macabre, weird, and pixely horror graphics, this game can feel an itch that many don't scratch, but I will say I'll be glad not to play it again. As a side note, I did only play this in single player. This game does have a multiplayer, however I have heard mixed reviews on the multiplayer even working, so if that is what is drawing you in, keep that in mind. So if the idea of vases coming to life to transform into giant meat monsters to kill you sounds interesting, maybe give Golden Light a chance. Man, it feels bad to give a game a negative review, but I hope I gave it justice enough where someone who would enjoy this game still got value out of this review to maybe give it a try, but also save people who would hate this game. Let me know if you think I achieved that and what I could do better. So let's break out of the dark and gritty and into a more colorful game, where we play as a magic caster who will take on the Fey world, Fey Tactics. But until then, enjoy the archives.